Thank you for clicking on the AkronNewsNow.com update. I'm Lindsay McCoy, bringing you a look at the latest local news, and you could not avoid that storm that passed through Akron yesterday. The Weather Service confirms that a weak tornado touched down in western Ohio near the Indiana state line. The tornado in Van Wert County ripped the roof off of a house, flattened a barn, and flipped over a tractor trailer and a camper near the village of Convoy. But the cold front that brought us the rainy conditions and whipping winds has moved on. Today in the Akron area forecast, we will have a high in the upper 60s, 68 degrees, mostly sunny skies. But today will be the last day of the really warm weather. Thursday, high of 49. We're going to dip down into the 30s for the overnight hours as well, with mostly cloudy skies. As we look at the 5-day forecast, Friday partly cloudy, high of 48, and for your weekend, we'll stay in the 50s with partly cloudy skies. And our first local crime story, 2 juveniles are arrested on burglary charges after witnesses say they saw 2 males breaking into homes in the Goodyear Heights area. A Sumatra Avenue homeowner claimed she came home to find her side door had been kicked in. Officers arrested the young men and placed them in the custody of the Summit County Juvenile Courts. And a 49-year-old Clinton woman will go to prison for stealing from a Barberton retiree.
Denise Jackson was sentenced to a total of 2 years in prison on 2 counts of receiving stolen property. Jackson and her ex-boyfriend, 46-year-old Mark Payakov, were arrested in July of 2009 on charges of many fraudulent transactions involving retirement funds of deceased Babcock & Wilcox employee Ralph Payakov, who adopted Mark Payakov in Barberton in the 1960s. Payakov was sentenced to 4 years in prison following guilty pleas to felony theft and insurance fraud. Ralph Payakov died of injuries from a fall in February. Jackson was also sentenced to 3 years of post-release control in order to pay more than $27,000 in restitution. Larry States, AkronNewsNow.com.
Thanks, Larry. And we switch gears now to our Halloween coverage for this week. AkronScreams.com is your go-to source for the weekend's top events, scary TV show listings, trick-or-treat times, and spooky stories. For those who dare, a Saturday evening along the Cuyahoga Falls River could give you a good scare. The Psychic Fair and Ghost Walk will take place October 30th. That's Saturday at 6:30 p.m. on the historical riverfront on Front Street. Tarot card readings, palm readings, and a guided ghost tour along with the river haunted stories are just some of the highlights to expect from this Halloween event. Event organizer and co-owner of the Armada Emporium, Jim Bell, explains one of the ghost stories from along the river.
Cuyahoga River has a huge, long history. Cuyahoga Falls is one of the fastest growing cities in this area because of the water power here. That brought a lot of people from a lot of places, some of them rather unsavory. The first murder in Cuyahoga Falls took place just up the river about a half a mile by the old Hudson Drive Bridge. One Englishman killed another Englishman for his gold that he was carrying. The grisly part of that is they never found the victim's head. It's still somewhere in the river or the canal, probably in the river.
Spooky, and now we go up north, returning to haunt the shores of Lake Erie at Cedar Point is the 14th annual Halloweekends.
Every fall, the Sandusky Scream Park fills the Midway with monsters, mayhem, and a variety of haunted attractions, along with spooky-themed live shows for the entire family. For the 2010 season, Cedar Point has introduced an all-new haunted house known as Dr. Demented's Asylum for the Criminally Insane. Spokesman Robin Innes says the attraction has elevated Halloweekends to a whole new level of fear.
I think it'll be very noteworthy because I think we've taken it to a new level here at Cedar Point. It's got a variety, very numerous creatures or inmates, you might say, in the asylum, and also mad scientists running around. So you put all that together, plus a lot of things in the dark that makes some noise and scares people. I think it could very well be the scariest location in the park this year. So we've got a brand new haunted house that joins, the 3 other haunted houses. So we got a total of 4 haunted houses. We've got 5 outdoor scare zones, plus a variety of different attractions for the young families, for the kids, and that doesn't even go into count taking all of Cedar Point's rides. So we got 17 roller coasters, 75 rides that. You put that all together, it's a full day of fun for everybody in the family. Throughout the day, you might say, as it gets later into the evening or into the day, the park itself becomes a little more scarier. There are, a lot of fun things to do during the day. Not only can you enjoy all of our rides, but there's special entertainment for the young ones. But a later in the day, you know, right around dinner time, all of a sudden now the haunted houses are open. And so the scare factor jumps up immediately there. Then a little bit by early evening, now our outdoor scare zones are open too when it gets dark. So now when you go into some of these darker areas into the park itself, there's creatures waiting for you. And so definitely the scare factor and the frights and the thrills go up immensely at that point. Well, I think it makes it for a great atmosphere, and I think that's one of the things people enjoy about just even looking around at the park itself, right. Because not only do we put in a lot of, you say, fog or smoke into the scare areas, so it kind of helps our creatures. They feel much more at home when it's dark and foggy. But even in certain areas in the park, you know, the fog sifts over a little bit, and just a different area. And then with the colored lights itself, when it gets dark, the whole park looks differently. Transforms into a nighttime, you might not scare area, but just a nighttime Halloween festival, and really adds to everybody's day.
One of the returning haunted houses is G.A. Beckling's Erie Estate. This one features an old-style mansion.
Beckling's Erie Estate, I think, is probably one of the most sophisticated haunted houses you're gonna find. Very intricate details inside. You go through I think there are approximately 20 different rooms you're going to go through. Each one, there are different ones. There's the library, there's the parlor, there's the kitchen, there's a bedroom, a bathroom, all different rooms, and each one has its own little story to tell.
Club Blood, which is a vampire-themed haunted house, along with Happy Jack's Toy Factory, are the park's other indoor haunted attractions. Those are both in addition to 5 freaky outdoor scare zones where creatures, clowns, and putrid pirates do their best to raise terror from every pore. From the moment you set foot inside the park, you're surrounded by Halloween. It's filled with loads of corn stalks, pumpkins, skeletons, and gobs of gravestones, one of which features Innis's name.
A lot of the workers here have, you might say, a history at Cedar Point, and so they have different gravestones and markers to commemorate that.
Did you get to pick where it went?
No. In fact, I was surprised one day when I walked over there and I saw that. It's a little bit unnerving. It said, all of a sudden, see a gravestone with your name on it.
With AkronScreams.com, I'm Ryan Haydett.
Remember, you can visit AkronScreams.com to find out more about local spooktacular stories and local events. Continue to follow AkronNewsNow.com for the latest local news 24/7. And remember, you can follow our news updates on Facebook and Twitter, too. For AkronNewsNow.com, I'm Lindsay McCoy.